Sally, thank you very much for that wonderful presentation and articulating the mission and visions of BFS. Okay, now we move to the next agenda. Our next agenda is keynote address, uh, which is one of the core components of this program. So today our guest speaker is Engineer Salisu Ibrahim Mukhtar. Engineer Salisu Ibrahim Mukhtar is a fellow of Nigeria Society of Engineers. He was born in Kano State, and in Kano Municipal precisely. He attended BUK Staff School, and then went to Dawakin Kudu Science College, and then he currently serves as the General Manager Planning and Commercial at NNPC Upstream Limited in Lagos. He has over 21 years of experience in NNPC and its subsidiaries. He held a range of technical, commercial, and leadership roles, including Managing Director of Pennington Producer Limited, Asset Manager of PSC Assets, Technical Advisor to the Minister of State of Petroleum Resources, and Business Advisor to the NNPC Group Managing Director, as well as his earliest role as the Instrumentation and Control Engineer. He holds a bachelor's degree from Ahmed Bello University Zaria, postgraduate from University of Leicester, University of Port Harcourt, University of Oxford. He's currently a PhD in energy economics, policy and management at University of Port Harcourt. He also had completed executive programs at Harvard University, Wharton Business School, and INSEAD School France. So his journey reflects discipline, long-term learning, and service, which are the values and which are key values of this mentorship program. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Engineer Engineer Salisu Ibrahim Mukhtar to the stage. Thank you, sir. You can unmute, sir.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A very good evening to everyone on the call. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can.
Okay. A very good evening to everyone on the call. And let me start by profoundly thanking the founder for extending the invitation for me to participate in this important event. And I would also like to warmly acknowledge the members of the advisory committee of Zuhura Educational Foundation who are with us here this evening, the mentors, as well as the mentees. Clearly, what you are doing, investing in young people and in their future, is something that really, really matters. I'm really genuinely honored to be here this evening. I'm grateful for the opportunity to share a few thoughts at a time when many of our young people are very important stage. Sorry, can I be heard?
Yes, we can.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to share a few thoughts at a time when many of our young people are at very important crossroads. So for many on this platform, this is a season of transition. School is ending or has just ended. The familiar structure is gone, or the structure that is familiar to you, timetable and all of that, will soon be going. And the questions are real. What next? When will work begin? Did I choose the right path? Almost everyone who goes on to build something meaningful passes through a season like this. Really, in our faith, we are reminded that every stage of life is a trust, and every opportunity comes with responsibility. So the difference between those who move forward and those who remain stuck is not just luck or connections. It is what they choose to do while they are waiting. Some wait and drift, some wait and complain, and some wait and build. They go on to build skills, build direction, build confidence, proof of value. So I want you to really think about this. Your degree is like a driving license. It proves you have learned the rules, but it doesn't mean you are already a great driver. Real driving skills comes when practice on real roads with real traffic are real problems. So the real world does not ask, what did you study first? It asks, what can you do? What can you handle? And what can you solve? So really tonight is not about celebrating certificates. It's about learning how to turn what you studied into something useful in real life. And inshallah, this evening is about helping us all to turn this waiting season into a building season. So just for context, if we start where we are, let's talk honestly about our environment. Northern Nigeria as of today. Uh, if we talk honestly about our environment, because really context matters, right? What this slide shows something very clear. Northern Nigeria is young and it is growing. A huge number of people between 18 and 35 years of age, and that is energy, that is ambition, that is pressure. It also shows something else. Jobs are limited, and millions of Nigerians are indeed unemployed. And that's the reality many of you are feeling right now, waiting, applying, hoping, and sometimes even getting tired. But look at the other side of the slide, the opportunities, trade, entrepreneurship, programming, agriculture, a lot of other opportunities. And these are not small things. These are entire economic paths. The problem is not that there is nothing to do. The problem is that many people are not yet prepared to do anything at high level. So yes, our environment is challenging, but it is also full of problems waiting for solutions. And problems are usually where opportunities are hiding. So really, if we look at it, there are clear opportunities amidst whatever challenges we see here. Sorry, it appears my slide has gone off. Is it still visible from your end?
Yes, yes, it's
Just to
visible.
confirm.
Yes.
It is.
Okay, so what
It's
we
not
see
visible
here
here.
is what
I'm not seeing anything.
Yes, it's coming back.
is it visible now?
No, sir.
No, no, it's
Until
not.
It went
it's
down
not,
again.
it's not visible.
Okay, it's visible
So
now.
Only S.I.M. What's your name?
Now it's back.
okay. Okay. So the critical pivot. So the slide we have here up shows two paths. One is the survival mode, and the other is the strategic mode. And indeed, Muhammad Thalis talked about being strategic, and I think I found that quite profound. And this is a choice almost every graduate faces, especially under pressure. Now, the survival mode says just graduate, any job is fine, let me just manage. And that thinking is understandable, especially when bills are real and family expectations are heavy. But survival mode has a danger. It keeps you busy, but not growing. Now, the strategic mode asks different questions. What skill am I building? What problems am I trying to solve? What am I learning? Where will this path take me in 3 to 5 years? So, two people can be working, but only one is actually building a future. And the pivot from survival to strategy is the moment you stop reacting to life and start designing your direction. Education is not entitlement, it is a responsibility. So, this slide makes a very important point. Your degree, your skills, your differentiation are not the same thing. A degree is valuable. Don't misunderstand me. But today it is also common. Thousands of people graduate every year with similar certificates. So employers don't stop at what did you study. They ask, what can you do? Can you think? Can you adapt? So think of your degree like an entry ticket. It gets you into the building, but once you are inside, nobody keeps clapping for the ticket. They care about what you contribute or what you can contribute. So really, what makes you stand out is not just the paper you hold, it is the skills you build and the problems you can solve. And that is what turns you from one of the many into someone valuable. Now, let me start this one with a picture. Imagine two graduates, yeah, same year, same course, from the same school, but one is sitting in probably a small room in Zaria or Yola, and then the other one is in some other city. 10 years ago, the second person that is in that big city, be it Lagos or elsewhere, really has a huge advantage. But today, that gap is much smaller than we think. And why? Because work has changed, learning has changed, even hiring has changed. Today, people get jobs they never physically visited. They work with teams they have never met in person. They solve problems for companies in countries they have never been. And that is what this slide means when it says competing beyond geography. Your location still affects your comfort, yes, but it no longer defines your ceiling. What defines your ceiling now is what you can do, what you can show, and how you can solve problems. But again, there's another side to the story. If the world is open to you, then the world is also competing with you. So you are no longer competing only with your classmates or people from your states or from your region. You are competing with anyone, anywhere who has similar skills globally. Now, that may sound scary, but it's also empowering. And that's the part I want you to look at. Because it means your background is not your prison. It means your preparation is your passport. The same phone you use to join this meeting or to scroll has become your learning tool. The same room you sleep can become your training ground. So the question is where I am. The question is not necessarily where I am really, but what am I building from where I am? So really work is now global and location really matters less. Competition really is basically more about your value, not necessarily on your address or where you are or where you come from. Now the skill stack. Think about building a house, right? If you only pour the foundation and stop, nobody can live there. If you build walls without a strong foundation, the house will collapse. And if you build everything but forget the roof, the first rain will definitely expose you. So it's the same with your career. Your degree is the foundation. It shows you were trained. It shows you endured. It shows you can commit to something. But it does not by itself make you useful. On top of that, you need practical skills, digital skills, the tools. These are things that you can actually do. Analyze data, write clearly, design something, organize work, manage a process, communicating ideas, and using technology. And on top of that, really, you need human skills, which is the glue. How you talk to people, how reliable you are, how you show up, how you honor commitments, how you work in teams, how you respond to pressure. So really, many graduates only have the foundation, and that is why they feel frustrated. But strong professionals are built by stacking all the three layers, not by hoping one layer will carry everything. Now, choosing postgraduate study with a purpose is also something I want to highlight. And this slide is really an honest mirror for many of you and many of us that has also passed through that stage. So some of you are thinking about masters or further studies. And really, that can be a powerful move or a very expensive way to delay hard decisions. But let me tell you a story I've seen many times. Someone finishes school and feels unsure. The job market looks tough, pressure from home is high, so they say, oh, let me just go back to school. And 2 years later, they return with another certificate, and it's the same uncertainty. Now, just compare that with someone who goes back to school with a clear reason to specialize, to go deeper into a field, to solve a specific problem, to build real expertise. Now, that person comes back stronger and clearer. And the difference is not the degree, the difference is the direction. So, education works best when it sharpens your path, not when it helps you to hide from decisions. So please don't just collect certificates, but build capability. Now, we have in the society we are today, there are a lot of local problems, and really local problems need local thinkers. And let me make this very practical. You don't need to wait for a big company or a big city to start becoming useful. Look around you. A school that keeps poor record, a small business that doesn't understand any use of any technology to make process more effective and efficient, a farmer who struggles with basic data or planning, a community group that needs better organization or even communication. Now, these are not small things. These are real life problems. Our real problems are training grounds for real professionals. So when you solve problems locally, three things happen. First, you gain experience. Second, you gain confidence. And third, you build a story you can tell, a powerful story for that matter, that you just don't have knowledge, but you can apply it. And of course, here is also the bonus. If you can solve problems in tough, limited resource environment, you are building muscles for global relevance. So context plus skills create solutions that really last. So, your final year project is more important than many students realize. For some people, it's just something to finish and forget, but it shouldn't be. Your project is a proof of how you think. Can you define a problem? Can you analyze it? Can you structure a solution? Can you explain your reasoning in interviews, in applications, in conversations? People are not just looking for certificates. They are looking for evidence of thinking. So if you use your certificates, your academics well, your project becomes your first professional story. Sometimes you can point to and say, oh, this is how I think, and this is how I solve problems. And that is really more powerful than just listing courses on your CVs. Planning, patience, and consistency. Now, this slide shows a curve that starts slowly and then rises. And this is not an accident. This is how real progress looks. And this is how it really works in life. Quiet excellence compounds over time. Most people want fast results. They want big change in a short time. But real growth usually starts quietly, small effort repeated. Reading when nobody is watching, practicing when nobody is clapping, improving little by little. And at the beginning, it feels like nothing is happening. But underneath, something is really compounding. And planning gives you direction. Patience will really keep you steady. Consistency does the heavy lifting. And that is how careers are built. Not in one dramatic moment, but in hundreds of small disciplined choices that you make. Many people will say, if only I had a better laptop, if only I had more money, if only I had better tools. But the truth is, we live in a time where access is less of a problem than focus. You can learn from anywhere. You can practice using free tools. You can build small projects. You can collaborate with people you've never met in person. Resourcefulness today is really not just about having everything. It's about using what you have very well. And about AI and technology, I used to learn them. It can help you to learn faster, to practice better, to explore better ideas. But what I would just encourage you to is please don't let them replace your thinking. Tools should make you stronger, not lazy. Now, this slide shows many skill areas, and the temptation is to say, let me try everything. And that's how many graduates get stuck, tired, confused, or average at many things. The market does not reward people who know a little about everything. It rewards people who can do something really well. So depth takes time. It takes focus. It takes saying no to distractions. But depth is what makes you useful. And usefulness really is what creates the opportunities for you. Pick a lane, go deep, build projects, get feedback, and sometimes you may not necessarily like the feedback you get, but take every feedback as an opportunity to even do things better, improve. And that is how you move from I know this to I can actually do this. Many young people start their careers asking, what title do I want? Oh, a manager, an analyst, an officer, an engineer. And I think personally that's really the wrong first question. I think the better questions are, what problems can I solve? Where will I learn the fastest? How will I grow my skills? Titles come and go, but really value stays. If you build value, real practical value, titles will definitely find you, brothers and sisters. I tell you. If you chase titles without building value, you will always feel empty and replaceable. But build usefulness first. Everything else will follow. What I call the strategic here, NYSC, and I think the founder is really a classical example. And at some point, I was discussing. I think it will be pertinent for him to share his NYSC story with a lot of you on this platform. Perhaps there could be some lessons to learn somewhere down the line. But again, coming back to the slide, this slide really shows NYSC as a bridge. And that is exactly what it is, a bridge between your school and your career. And many people treat NYSC like a waiting room. They just want to finish it. But you know what? Smart people treat it like a training ground. You can upskill. You can volunteer for responsibility. You can build networks beyond your usual cycle. You can gather proof of work, real things you have done, not just things you have studied. Two people can finish NYSC the same year. One comes out with the same CV they went in with, and the other will come out stronger, clearer, and more employable. And that difference is not luck, it is clear intention and deliberate intention. The trust economy. This slide says something simple but powerful. Skills open doors, but it is character that keeps those doors open. People only remember who is reliable, who shows up, who delivers on time, who is committed, who takes responsibility seriously. In the long run, your reputation will speak before your CV does. People will say this person can be trusted or this person is not dependable. So avoid entitlement, avoid empty connections, avoid comparison culture. Focus on becoming someone people can count on. And trust is one of the most valuable currencies you will ever build, I tell you. Small beginning, serious learning, and it's really okay to start small. And let me say something that many people don't like to hear. But everyone who succeeds eventually learns. Almost nobody that you know starts big. We often see people's success at the top and forget their beginning at the bottom. We see the big businesses, not the small shop they started with. We see the manager, not the intern that they were once were. We see the expert, not the beginner who made many mistakes. And it's okay to make mistakes, especially if we learn from them. So the truth is, small beginnings are not a problem. Refusing to start is the problem. Starting small teaches you things you can learn from theory. Small roles teach you how work really happens. Small projects teach you how to finish what you start. Small wins build your confidence, the kind of confidence that doesn't come from motivation, but from experience. Many graduates want to jump straight into big roles and big titles, but without foundations, big roles will become heavy burdens. You get exposed, you get overwhelmed, and you may even get discouraged. So think of growth like building a tree. Strong tree don't grow fast. They go deep first. Roots before height. Skills before titles. Competence before recognition. So really, I will encourage you, do not despise small beginnings. Despise standing still. Start where you are. Learn first. Improve daily. Build steadily. Foundations matter more than speed, and they will always pay you back later. Again, this slide is quite uncomfortable, I know, because it shows traps many smart people fall into without noticing. The first trap is waiting for perfect conditions. Some people say, when I get better laptop, I'll start. When I get a job, I will learn. When things are easier, I will try. The problem is perfect conditions almost never come. And while you are waiting, time is moving. The second trap is depending only on your connections. Connections can open doors, yes, but if you don't have skills, you won't last inside that room. When connections fail, and sometimes definitely they do, you are left with nothing to stand on. The third trap is stopping learning after graduation. Some people think I'm done with school, so I'm done with learning. That's how skills become outdated and confidence will slowly disappear. The fourth trap is comparison culture, measuring your behind the scenes with someone else's highlights online. That steals your focus, it steals your energy and your direction. So these traps don't destroy people in one day, they destroy them quietly and slowly over the years. But the good news is once you see them, you can step around them. And awareness of this alone gives you an advantage many people never get. I've talked about small beginnings and how they compound. So quiet excellence indeed compounds. And this slide brings everything together because it shows how real progress actually happens. Motivation is good, but I tell you what, it's really not reliable. Some days you feel inspired. For those that study electrical engineering, it's just like your sinusoidal waves, right? A peak trough. So some days you feel inspired, some days you don't. Habits are different. Habits are completely different from motivation because habits stay. Even when your motivation disappears, where you have the right habits, that stays. And think about this. You have one focused hour a day. Doesn't look like much, just 1 hour to focus. It doesn't feel dramatic. Nobody will clap for you. But do it for 3 months and your skill level will dramatically change. Do it for 1 year and your position in life changes completely. So small improvements compound. Just like money grows with interest, skills grow with consistent practice. Reading a little every day, practicing a little every week, improving one small thing at a time. And that is how ordinary graduates will become strong professionals, regardless of the class of degree you graduate with. Not through noise, not through shortcuts, but through quiet, consistent excellence. Your future will not be built in one big moment. It will be built in hundreds of small disciplined actions and decisions that nobody sees. But everyone will ultimately see the results. So these are some 5 practical commitments that I think will find very useful career journey. First, school will give you the knowledge, but then again, you need to personally own your skill development. You need to own your destiny. Please choose depth. Don't shallow learn. Improve your communication skills. Communication skills, not just verbal communication, but written communication as well. Use every single opportunity that you see to build networks. But then ultimately be patient, but take your future very serious. You don't have to fix everything at the same time, but at least you can fix something at a time. So let me end with something very simple and very honest. Many of you, like I said, are either graduating or are waiting for a job, waiting for any NYSC, or waiting for a breakthrough, or waiting for someone else to remember you. But here is the truth. Don't wait to become valuable. You may be waiting for a job, but don't wait to build skills. You may be waiting for NYSC, but don't wait to start learning. You may be waiting for opportunity, but please don't wait to prepare. When this call ends, nothing magical will happen, but something important can start. That is your next small decision. Decide one skill to begin building. Decide one small action for tomorrow. Decide that this waiting season will not be wasted. Because this season can either be the season you look back on with regret, or the season you look back and say, Alhamdulillah, that was when my direction changed. So the choice is yours. Start small, stay consistent, build quietly, and inshallah, Allah will do the rest for you. Thank you very much for the opportunity.